Let's get it. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, B Burrell. Again, we just got some crazy value from just every single person, whether you're dropping your gratitude in the chat box, whether you heard Moody speak or Cliff speak, guys, just a ton of value is always coming in every single week. And I'm excited to show you guys on tonight. Hopefully it won't be before you guys too long. But tonight I want to talk about your faith power, man. Really going into this space next year and being able to open up the call, playing that particular audio about awakening the beast within, let's identify the beast as a faith power. All right, somebody drop faith power in the chat box. We want to awaken the faith power within, because God is doing so many amazing things in our life. And we also have to have the conscious awareness to understand greatness is not always being excited, being just great blessings overflowing all the time. Greatness a lot of times are the challenges and the trials that you're going to face, so that your faith power can continuously grow, so that your endurance can grow, so that your patience and so many other areas in your life can continue to grow. All right. The first thing you have to understand, we'll go through 9 little laws real quick. The first thing you guys have to understand is that, of course, faith is a mental attitude that commands and gets results. All right. It commands and gets results. So the first thing you have to ask yourself on tonight, where does my faith reside? What is my faith? What is the home of my faith? Where's my flag planted? Because those are the results that I continuously keep getting. All right. Faith is a mental attitude that commands and get results. Why? Because faith is not dependent, it's not predicated simply by all the things that you can do. It's simply predicated on your faith, your works, for truly what God can do for you in your life, right? So what things are you doing for you to be able to access his power, for you to be able to say, you know what? I truly believe, let me do what I know I can do, but let me trust what I know he has already done. All right, let me say it again. Let me believe in the things that I believe. Let me know what I can do, but let me trust in the things I know he's already done. All right, you're never asking God for things that you're not asking him for something new. Do y'all realize that you're never asking for anything new? You're asking for access. You're asking for permission. And what a lot of people do while we're going through this development, while we're going through this growth, family, what's up, D? While we're going through this growth, while we're going through these transitions in our lives and just continuously reading it and being able to scale inside our growth and opportunity, guys, you can't just simply, you have to make sure you're not just simply studying and building that relationship. You have to put your relationship to a test. Somebody drop test in the chat box. You have to put your relationship to the test. God truly doesn't know if you truly believe and trust him until your faith has been tested. So what different goals and dreams are you pursuing for us to truly see? Do you truly believe that all things are possible for you, right? So that's the first thing. Make sure we understand that it's a mental attitude, that we command these things to happen. These results are going to follow. It's definitive. I don't question if I'm going to get the things that it's so funny I just said that. I don't question anything, because I always write the vision, make it plain. I always have a checklist. I made this checklist November 18th. All right, it rolls over to 2022. All right, it's probably about 10 items on here. I've already checked off 3. I got 2 that's going to be checked off this week. Why? Because I know that my faith commands results. Somebody drop result in the chat box, right? My faith commands results. My faith doesn't question. My faith doesn't doubt. My faith doesn't have restrictions. My faith doesn't have any of that. It commands what it feels. It commands what it has set out for itself, right? So what GPS system is your faith following? Guys, what results are you intending to get? No, what results are you expecting to get? All right. So you have to identify first, is my command in a place where God can hear it? Is my faith in a place where God is attracted to it? And my faith is in a place of understanding, right? You can't walk around here just blind faith, right? I mean, it's cool, it'll work out in your favor. But what if you could navigate to where it could go? What if you can navigate its destination, right? The second thing is this: you do not need more faith. you do not need more faith. I'm gonna tell you why you don't need more faith yet. Because you already have enough. Somebody drop enough in the chat box. Let me give me a cup of water. Somebody drop enough in the chat box. You already have enough faith, right? Here it comes. You already have enough. Now, why do you have enough? Because you haven't used what you have already. You haven't even used what you already possess, right? That's like having a full tank of gas and saying, man, I drove about 5 miles down the road. I need to add some more gas to my tank. No, you need to use what you already possess. All right. You already have plenty of faith, and you need to use it constructively. You need to put it into action. All right. What good is it to have a reserve of faith? right? What good is it to have a reserve of faith when you haven't put enough action for any of the reserves to be applied? God's glory doesn't prevail just simply off of storage. It has to be, it prevails off of usage. Woo! All right. It doesn't simply prevail off of storage, right? But you have to use it so that people can see, oh, man, they gotta believe, because I don't even know if I can do that. Man, they gotta believe because I've seen their struggle, I've seen their pain, I've seen their trials, I've seen their tribulations. They gotta believe. If somebody's looking at you on tonight, are they saying, oh, that person gotta believe? That person has to be using their faith, right? But you gotta use it constructively. Do not use your faith destructively, family. All right. Be careful of the things that you say. Be careful of the things that you speak, the environments. And another thing you got to be careful of is not moving at all. You got to be careful of inaction. Right? Because what begins to happen, guys, if you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it. What good is it for us to read a book and we don't apply any of the principles? If you don't use it, you will lose it. Give it purposeful direction. Have faith in health, success, joy, harmony, and all those beautiful, amazing areas in your life, peace and happiness, right? I want you guys to truly think about what scares you on tonight. What part of your journey, what action steps do you know you need to take and they scare the mess out of you? Like, man, I don't really know if I want to do that, or makes you uncomfortable, all right? And I'm sure we all have it. If you know there's some action steps that you need to take today, but they may make you feel uncomfortable. That doesn't mean you're scared of them, but it makes you uncomfortable. Drop some ones in the chat box. You know what you're supposed to do, right? And if it makes you uncomfortable, truly, most of the time, that's what the direction that you need to take, right? So does anybody have some goals or some desires? And then you know the action steps, but then those action steps make you feel a little uncomfortable. You might get a little butterflies in your stomach, like, man, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet, right? And that's okay. But we got to make sure we use the faith that we already have, right? Because the faith that you have has to begin to be developed. It has to grow, right? It's cool for us to build the relationship. We have to maintain relationship. We go out there and do those things so the relationship can manifest and grow stronger, so it can begin to have more glue, right? Your faith power is within, family. Everyone has faith in something. Everybody on the planet, whether they want to call it faith or not, they all believe for something. They all have faith in something. But where is your faith on tonight? Is your faith in you? Is your faith in your bank? Is your faith in your prospects? Is your faith in your back office? Is your faith in your trading account? Is your faith in your job, in your employer, in your relationship? Where does your faith reside, right? We do presentations in one of our investment groups, and we do the presentation and we say, where does your finances reside? Where do you live financially? Where does your faith reside, right? That's the question on tonight. So what's the address to your faith? Is it down there on a Little Bit Wonderland, right? Is it down there on Sometimes Drive, right? Where does your faith live? All right. You have to be able to trust God, guys. Guess what? Have y'all ever trusted God at such a high level that even that felt uncomfortable? Yes or no in the chat box. I've been guilty of that. It's actually okay, because that's when you're stretching. That's a healthy state to move into, all right? Because now you're stretching yourself out of this comfort zone. Some of y'all got idle faith. It ain't being used for nothing. Waking up every single day, giving God gratitude, cool, that's great, right? But what other areas in your life and what other endeavors and adventures are you taking for now? It's like, whew, all right, this getting a little uncomfortable, God. I don't know about this, bro, right? But you do it anyway, because when you begin to look at your past, when you begin to look at your past blessings, you begin to see, oh man, I was uncomfortable the last time I took this walk. I was uncomfortable the last time I took this next step. I was uncomfortable the last time I took this path. Why? Why? Because I got out of my comfort zone, right? But when I got out of that comfort zone, I began to access a new level of blessings, right? So you guys have to identify, where does your faith live? What does your faith reside? So many people want to call us. I think I said it last week. So many people want to call on God during special occasions, right? Some people go get their kids christened when they first born, and that's the last time they've been inside the church, right? They thank God during their birthday. They thank God during the holidays, but there's 360 more days they ain't thought about God, or they haven't spent any time, right? He's not going to he can't access you if he doesn't live within, right? If he doesn't have a relationship, right? He's within all of us. But you have to awaken that power. You have to awaken that faith power, family. All right. So everyone has faith, but where does your faith live? All right. D, what's up? Right? You down there on Doubtful Drive, right? bankhead. Where does your faith reside, family? So put it to action. Somebody drop action in the comments, drop action in the chat box, family. Put it to action, put it to work. Okay, it doesn't matter how many we can read all the stories in the world, right? But every single story that you listen to from some of the greats, right? They had faith. Steph Curry just broke a record tonight, 700 and something games, and he broke the most 3 points in the NBA right now, right? That record has been held for 10 years. But somebody said that's not possible for somebody else to break Ray Allen's record. And somebody gonna say it's not possible for somebody to break Steph Curry's record. Why? Because their faith lives, their faith is trusting what they can see. Their faith is trusting their current level of awareness. What is your awareness of faith? What is your awareness of faith? What does that mean? Do I have the awareness to understand truly what my faith can do for me? Do I understand the performance of my faith? Its abilities, its nature, its calling. What is it commanding to come to me, right? Real faith is based off of the internal principles, the power within, and the values of life that never change. Whatever you give, you get, right? The more you serve, the more people you impact. You truly out here showing what God is truly doing for you in your life. Guys, the breath coming through your lungs right now, like that, I say this all the time, and I just hope it really takes seat in somebody's soul. If you hold your breath, what happens when you hold it for too long? Somebody drop it in the chat box. If you hold your breath right now, what happens when you try to hold your breath? What happens? Somebody tell me. Of course, you can pass out, but we ain't talking about the pass out time. If all of us do a let me hold my breath contest right now, what happens? The first person who loses, what did that person do? Why did they lose? Somebody let me know. If y'all need some help, I'll give it to you, right? It's not a trick question. That person is going to be interrupted. That's right. That person is going to be counteracted with the supernatural. That person is going to have an interference by the supernatural, because you don't have the power to hold your breath past the time that you know you can. You maybe 2-3 minutes, right? After that, God says, let me breathe that life. Let me give them breath again, right? So that's out of your control. So if breathing is out of your control, why not trust every single day that God is going to do things that are out of your control, just the way he's going to bless you with the next breath in your life? Why don't you trust him to give you the next blessing in your life? Do not allow your blessings to be dependent upon you holding your breath, you being able to see what you can do, all right? And some of us pursue different goals and dreams, still feeling doubtful, still feeling fearful. I'm going to give you guys a secret. The more you exercise your faith, the more it won't feel so uncomfortable. Though it'll be like, okay, this is second nature now. You begin to have doubt, worry, and limiting thoughts when you're pursuing these goals and dreams because you're not spending enough time exercising your faith. You cannot have special occasion faith. It can't be like that. That's why you get all uncomfortable when you go to pursue these big dreams and goals, because you feel like you're not qualified. But if you stop taking the qualifications off of you and put the qualifications on the only person who's ever going to be qualified, you know that every single thing that you deserve and want for your life is already what? Qualified. It already meets every single thing that is needed to get the job done. God has equipped you to get every single thing that you want in your life, but you keep doubting. So you have to go and do an audit on your faith. You have to do an audit on yourself and ask yourself, why is it every time that I want to pursue a new career, get a new item, get a new relationship, do something different, do something that's going to take me to the next level? Why is there always this moment of hesitation? Why is this moment of disbelief? What is this comfort zone that I can't seem to break? I want you to lean into it. Somebody say lean with it, rock with it in the chat box. I want you to lean into it. Lean with it, rock with it in the chat box. I want you to lean with it, all right? And I want you to rock with God. I want you to lean into it, right? And begin to trust every single thing that he wants in your life. Okay? Faith is invisible, okay? Faith is invisible, we know that. Evidence of things unseen, okay? So people, I tell you guys all the time, everybody uses faith, right? I mentioned this to somebody the other day. Scientists even use faith. That's right. Scientists have great faith. Why? Because they believe in the possibility of the execution of the ideas in their mind, right? They believe in the possibility of the ideas in their mind. But the question is, do you have that same level of do you have that same level of execution for yourself? We all know, we all took a science class at some point. Maybe you didn't make it all the way through high school, but I guarantee at some point you at least took a science class, right? Understand this, science requires them to, you know what? I think people hate on science too much. They try to separate science from spirit, but it's pretty much the same thing, because scientists, when they wanted to create the light bulb or these cell phones or these different devices and things that we're using every single day, they trusted failure. They trusted the obstacles. Oh, that's so good. They trusted the thing. They trusted what wouldn't work, because they were so desperate to get to the end of where they were so desperate to get to the finish line. We got to begin to have that same level of expectation. I have to trust my failures, because they course correct me along the way. They allow me to execute every single idea in my mind, right? Every single idea in my mind. Don't leave it here, y'all. Get it out of your head. Get that sheet of paper, right? I'm gonna keep, I probably bring my paper up on every single call. Get that sheet of paper, right? Let me tell y'all something. Complete Boot Camp did that. The second one says, sign my lease agreement. I could have signed it yesterday, but they got to make a modification to price. All right. Guess what? That's the second check box. It says sign lease. That's the second. Why? I wrote November 18th. Right. And if you've been on my calls for quite some time, I believe for the building before the building existed. Right. Why? Because God knew what I needed. Right. I was believing for something else, but he said, let me redirect her faith. Let me redirect her journey. Let me redirect her to something greater and bigger. Somebody say go bigger, right? Drop go bigger in the chat box. Drop go bigger in the chat box, right? Because I wrote it and I trust it. I'm not literally depending on me. I know what I can do. I know what I can execute. I know my resources, right? But I know who created them. I know who created the resources, right? And don't that make y'all feel good? I know all that I can do. But guess what? I got backup. I got a support system. I got somebody that never fails. That's right. Write the vision and make it plain. And it can sound so cliche sometimes. It can sound, y'all probably, I wrote it down. I put the images up. I put the pictures all over the wall. I've been reading the books. I've been listening to the audios. What about the action part? Do not get so comfortable doing so much of the 90% that it makes you lazy in your faith. God said faith and works, not faith and laziness, right? It ain't just gonna fall in your lap. You have to get into actions, guys, all right? Sometimes there are people out there in the world who don't even have faith, but they can take action, right? And then sometimes we might get a little jealous of them. Like, man, how they get there? And I know they didn't believe, or they did, because they trusted at least taking action. And they developed the faith along the way. Did y'all ever think about that? Take the action and develop the faith along the way. Stop trying to wait for perfect faith before you actually take action. That's what so many people do. And then the worst thing is, so many people are accessing the environments of growth, accessing the environments of faith. They show up every single week, every single Sunday, wherever they get their growth from. And guess what? They still have a habit of inaction, right? They don't even know anything new. And that's unfortunate, because it has so much power, it has so many clues, it has such a huge manual for how to live an amazing life. But is your faith as significant as these scientists out here creating these amazing things, right? You have to understand it, guys. You have to be able to audit your faith, audit where you are. And I always tell people, I can always tell when I'm not feeling my best because I don't take enough action. And that excites me. I'm like, man, something's weird. I don't know. And I always look at my calendar book. And I'm like, oh, I'm not taking enough action. I'm not taking enough. God can't, if I'm not executing, he ain't showing up. I got to take more action. Right? That's how it works, y'all. Show up, do the work. AB, I got your back. I'm here. I see you moving. I'm about to run some plays for you. Don't worry about it on my end. You know I got you every single time. What if y'all could just talk to him like, you can talk to him like that now, but what if his rebuttal's like, listen, yo, Leon, hey, bro, this guy, I'm gonna leave you a voicemail, man. I've been hearing your vision for a while. I see you running these plays. I'm going to go ahead and make something shake next year. Just make sure you stay in preparation mode, because when it comes, you have to be prepared to receive it. You got to stay in preparation mode. You listen, I stay in preparation mode. I'm not perfect. There are some times, there's some days and some weeks, I'm not doing everything all the time. But majority of the time, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Why? Because I have an expectation. What are you expecting to show up in your life? Number 5, you can't see your mind, your life, your feeling of love. You see the shell of Brittany Burrell, but you can't really see Brittany Burrell, right? I can't see Shalee. I really can't see you. I can't see the imagination in your mind. I can't even see your level of faith, right? You can't see my faith either, right? But you can anchor your mind to the invisible power within and use it. It's so substantial, eternal, all powerful. Have you guys ever anchored yourself to your faith? Yes or no in the chat box. You ever had those moments where you're like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this. God, it's all on you. Yes or no in the chat box. Anybody ever anchored yourself entirely to your faith? All right. In those moments we feel like kind of rough, kind of patchy, kind of sketchy. Am I the only one? Somebody drop a yes in the chat box for me, because I've always anchored myself to God. All right. Why? Because he has all the power. All the power is in his hands, right? Change your faith in failure. And I posted this the other day. Change your faith in failure and rejection. Change your faith in failure and rejection. Put your faith into acceptance, harmony, love, successful living, recognition. Do not allow negative thoughts to reign superior in your life. Okay? Do not allow drama, gossip, and negative thinking to reign superior in your life. Most people are completely unaware that they become what they think about. They're completely unaware. If I say, do you believe in this goal? If you believe the things that you speak, they're going to say yes. But for some reason, people don't understand it's the opposite as well. You're also believing for the things that you're speaking, regardless if they're pros or cons. So you have to be able to be fully aware of what you're saying, not only to other people, but always to yourself. Change your faith in failure. Change your faith in rejection. Change your faith in doubt and limiting thoughts, family. Get it out of your system. Detox. Get yourself on the IV, whatever you got to do. But get it out of your system. Well, how in the world do I get it out of my system? You begin to take an analysis on the people that you speak to, the things that you watch, the things that you're scrolling. Some of us are just sitting there on social media, mindlessly scrolling hours a day. Hours. If I go look at y'all social media time, I promise you I'm gonna get at least 2 hours out of it. Right? My sister told me I don't spend enough time because I'm doing things on social media. It ain't nothing on there for me. Right? Stop, Molly. Don't spend a percentage. We talk about people working 9 to 5s and people, we spend a lot of our time on these jobs. We spend a lot of our time sleeping. But then we got to start to factor in how much time we're spending on social media. And that might hurt somebody. That might step on somebody's toes. But I need y'all to hear this. Don't look up 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. And the most successful thing you've done was be mindlessly scrolling. You have an award. You hold the highest record for being ineffective, for having a lot of inaction. And if you do use it, of course, use it for impact, use it for growth. There are still a lot of positive things online, right? There's motivational pages, there's different speakers and preachers and different people that we can learn from. But even then, however much effort you spend into studying, put it into what? Action, right? Do more action. Somebody drop, do more. Do more. Have you been doing the same amount of action all year? The same amount of action all month? Do more. Double up. Right? Double up. I've made a commitment already. These next 12 months, I am going to probably have this whole lot probably going to be great in the next 12 months. I'm about to grind my butt off. I want to do more. Because what? My goals require a new level of me, a new effort from me. And you guys I love this. Grant Cardone always talks about people underestimate the work that's required. Man, I thought I'd be done with 6 months by now. I thought I had this done in 3 months. Stop worrying about months. Stop worrying about time. Just get it done, right? Just get it done. Doesn't matter about amount of time. If it's something that you truly desire, time should never be a factor. Never, right? So let's make sure that we're consistently pushing ourselves beyond time. Okay, stop living in time. My nephew always asking how long it's gonna take for this? How long before we get there? I said, don't worry about it. I tell, if he asks me for time, I never tell him the time, because he's already going to develop a paradigm for trying to time when things should be done, instead of having a paradigm that faith and understanding that faith, all things will be done. Huh? All right. Stop putting your trust. Maybe I asked earlier, where's your faith? Maybe your faith is in the time. I need you to pull that flag up out of there. All right. Have faith in your healing power. Imagine yourself being healthy, strong, infinite, right? Endless, right? Do all the things you would do now, knowing that you're made whole. Your faith in your mind, in your deeper mind, it dwells. God controls everything. God is everything. Okay? He's always going to respond to the nature of your thoughts, the nature of your feeling. So if you ever want to feel better, first identify what's not allowing you to feel the best version of yourself. Okay? I asked my family tonight, I said, hey, if somebody sent you $100 million, that's what it was. I think I was looking at Shaq, and me and my sister was laughing because I said, Shaq got every product and every business you could think of. Probably got barbecue sauce, life insurance, laptops, tennis shoes. The man got everything, but I don't hate on him because what? He's making that bread, right? He's almost at half a billion, okay? But he has put himself in a space where everything he desires is what? Responding to his thought and feeling. So I asked them, I said, how would y'all feel if somebody gave y'all $100 million a year? Y'all drop that in the chat box. How would y'all feel if somebody gave you $100 million for the next 5 years, every single year? How would that make you feel? Listen, I'm gonna have to get a new cell phone, and only a few people gonna have my number. I'm gone, right? Anybody else, come with me. Imagine, get in the booth with me. In the chat box, how would you feel if somebody sends you $100 million every single year? Because this is important. Please drop an answer. Please tell me how you would feel. All right. I already called you out by dripping. Right? How would you feel? Well, I know how I would feel. Listen, bump y'all. I'm gonna tell you how Kim said she would feel amazing. I would feel, y'all ready? It'll be lit. If somebody sent me $100 million a year for the next 5 years, I'm gonna tell y'all exactly how I would feel. And I'm gonna give y'all my answer. And I hope y'all ready for it. I would feel like I feel today, because I already expect $100 million to come to me every single year. Do not wait for the item to be in your possession before you feel it. Because y'all just felt it just now. Y'all took a minute. That was it. But y'all went into that feeling. You actually dived into this. You just submerged yourself into what it would feel like to make $100 million a year. And you dived into it. You got excited. Y'all probably stopped. The list just went crazy, right? I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that, I'm gonna get blah. Sound like a car auction. But the key is that God responds to your thought and feeling. And if I feel like I'm expecting $100 million every single year, then I continue to write the vision. I continue to make it plain, and I continue to expect, and I continue to prepare. Because what a lot of people do is they're hoping that things will just fall in their lap without expectation. But if you expect to have $100 million hit your account every single year, you're going to start studying the principles, the knowledge, the habits that you need to have today. So when God says this person has been prepared for the last 10 years for $100 million a year, every single year, they are now prepared. They are now ready. It sucks to want something and not be prepared for it. Anybody ever had that happen before? It's happened to me before. Sometimes you don't even expect certain opportunities, but an opportunity opened itself up because you were qualified. Sometimes you're overqualified. And so God will say, listen, you've been doing real good. I'm about to give you a bonus. Here you go. And you're like, oh, shoot, I can't handle that. I wasn't ready for that. Always stay ready. Somebody drop stay ready in the chat box. We're almost done. Stay ready, right? Last but not least, family, it puts us in a space. I just asked you guys, well, how would you feel mentally, act, and feel the way that you would feel when your prayer is answered? Come on, B. Oh, that was a perfect setup. The last setup is the last point is to stay ready mentally, okay? Subconsciously, act and feel the way you would act and feel when your prayer is answered. And you will find the power of your faith will work wonders in your life. I need you guys to really meditate on that act and feel. We talk about it so much, because people don't get it yet. They don't get it yet. And we're going to keep talking about it until the light bulb go off. Act and feel. Okay? Just stay in that mode. If you ever feel like you're kind of slipping off the slope, get around some luxury. Go smell the perfume cologne, call David, whatever you got to do. But get your vibration back up. Do not allow yourself to slip, Do not allow yourself to slip from that vibration. I'm telling you guys, acting and feeling works. I am a full testimony of it. Thank you, God. I understand it, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it works. You freaking write it. You trust God and you take action. It's simple. Stop trying to look perfect. Stop trying to worry about the perfect things. Bump all that. Study what you need to study, gain the skill sets, and start taking immediate action. You guys have to move as if it's never, you got to move as if it's going to be swept underneath your feet. People are getting snatched all the time. I'm always talking about, man, I see so many missing kids on my timeline. Stop taking every single breath for granted. Your inaction is an insult to your faith, to what God can do to you. I'm going to say it again. Inaction is an insult to the faith power within you. Because inaction says, I still don't want to believe, I don't believe enough. I don't want to take action. I don't trust what he's going to do. Get into action. Take the move, right? Run the play, whatever you got to do. Even if it's something, just do something. I think this is what we need to end it, guys. Do something you've never done before. Right? Maybe you do 5 DMs a day. Go do 20. Right? Maybe you don't save 10% of your paycheck. Save 5%. Do something you've never done before, and you'll have what you've never had. It's that simple. It's simple. A lot of times it's just more effort. We do the minimal, expecting the maximum blessing. I'm not saying operate out of desperation and like you just can't get there. I'm saying you have the ability to go all in. So stop doing the 50 when your mind has a conviction knowing you can do 100. Hell, do 65, right? Do 65%, then add another 5, then add another 5. But do more, take more action, and always act and feel. Always act and feel. It sets other people on fire as well. People become attracted to you because you're always operating off of, man, that person. Guys, we know this. We know this. But do we trust it? It's not enough to know and believe anymore. Do you trust it? And are you operating? When you get into operating mode, you've arrived. That's the difference. Knowledge is cool. We know that. Studying is cool. Being inside the information, being around the environments, one day you will be set on fire. But what if you would stop waiting for somebody to set you on fire? What if you would stop waiting to hear the right information? What if you would stop waiting to hear the right quote, scripture, whatever it is, and you just took action? Your faith will catch up to your works. Why? Because your works was a reflection of your faith. Sometimes blind faith is better for a lot of people. Blind faith has helped a lot of people get there, because they just operated strictly off of the vision and just action. They don't know these principles, but they didn't know all the details, but they knew if they believed long enough, they would get there. So how about we begin to believe in action? All right. 2022 is around the corner, family. I'm excited. Excuse me. I'm already living in 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay. But let's make it happen. That has been my time tonight. Faith, power, more. Do more work. Lean with it, rock with it, okay? What is our hashtag on tonight, family? What is our hashtag? What is our biggest takeaway? Somebody give me a hashtag so I can post that thing on social media and in a team chat, and we're gonna have a winning night. Let's get it. What y'all got for me? Facebook has been real. Y'all be blessed. Y'all gonna make me come up with a hashtag tonight? What's the hashtag? I hope y'all got some value on tonight. All right, let me think. I always go back to that feeling, man. Feel it. Feel faith power. Okay, wait a minute. Faith power, Kim. Let me think. Let's say feel it, because we do. I don't believe we take enough action. How about more action? That's the hashtag. Just simply more action. We can still use faith power. We can still use trust. Let's just take more action. It's simply what it always boils down to. Okay, more action. That's all it is, guys. Sometimes more action is us being better with our schedules. More action is eating better. More action is planning more. Okay, spending more time with family, communication, more relationship, more time with God. It's just more of something. Okay, more prayer, more meditation. So let's use the word more action, because it covers so many different things. Okay, I love y'all. Deuce is around the corner. It's going to be the best year of our lives. Continue to speak it, believe it, plan it, and execute. All right, let's take more action. Y'all have an amazing night, and it's been my pleasure. I thank y'all so much for allowing me to speak on tonight, and I will see y'all next Tuesday. Let's go. Y'all have a blessed night.